All right, back we go. It is September 25th, Thursday. I'm going to try to go over some charts here. Let's start out with IONZ. This is IONQ ETF. There's a lot of these new ETFs. There's so many now, even MU, AMD, you name it, they all have ETFs. Now, this is interesting because this is up near 23, comes down to 14, bounces back up to 20. It's going back and forth here, and then it's getting a little bit lower. And then look at it, 16, we go all the way down, wash down. That's what you want. As the market is fading a little bit here, look at the volume here. I think people are getting in here at this low. And my thinking here, this could bounce and we get a little short-term move in the market down. I'd love to see this 8. This will be a double, this trend line coming down. There's not much to go on here. If you see this, it's relatively new, so it's very hard to get a feel what's going on here. But you have the high stochastics. This is the 4-hour. Look at it, lower, lower. If you draw a line right down here, and if we bust through that, or is it another move down before we move up? That's scenario. But right now you have 415. Stop would be 350. That's where all these moves were. 2-hour. You have a crossover down, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Take a look, coming back down now. All right. So not much to go in here, just technically, I'd like you see this trend line here. That's what I'm looking for eventually. 8. We'll see if it gets there on IONZ. You have major volume right here. Let's look at IONQ. And this is IONQ. So this was going along sideways for months. Then the big breakout over 45 goes to 75. And look at this. First two candles out of this. Now, weekly, it's still going up. Could this be a shooting star? And then we're starting to go down, possibly. There's a move down. It's almost at this below 50 line. That means much lower when you cross below there. 2-hour, trying to cross up. And 1 hour, it's bouncing here a little bit. So that's the move on that. Look at that move right here. All right, DVLT. Our DVLT is an interesting move. So you had this 30 cents, you go up, red candle, but it goes through again. Then you go to 80. Now you have a $1 roll. Let me look at my other chart here. All right, DVLT. I'm going to check my algo, what it's saying here. All right, I had the buy here, 916. That would be right here. So you have this move down right here on, near 80 cents. Look at this. So the high got lower, got lower. You have the buy here. They come up with the algo. To me, it could have been here, 30 cents too. And then you have a low line here, draw basically right here. And it keeps grinding up. See the low here on stochastics? As we draw right here and here on stochastics level on the chart. And then we go up to 103. So that's a big run. You're talking, let me move this out of the way, 137%. Weekly chart, you're just crossing over. Monthly chart, look at that. A little bit of move here. First candle. Now, could this be the move already since it went to 1 possibly? You ran pretty hard here, but we'll see if this can keep going. It has to get over 1 and then 125, I would say 150, maybe even a 250. It's possible. QLGN. This is another one. I already did this. So you had this shadow candle. When you see the shadow candle, it's an exhaustion candle. It means, tried to go up. It's green, but it went all the way back down. And that's what happened. $2. Then you had the buy here in the algo, 173-ish. 2. Another one, you get a 9 exhaustion candle, and you come all the way back. And you're at 539 right now. I'm trying to cross over again. All right, big volume. See at the crossover, you look at your weekly, you're playing short term. The weekly came down right here, sideways. Now you crossed up. It's a good sign. Monthly, just trying to cross. It might be good too because it has been flat for so long. 4-hour, Hit the high, come down, come down. So we'll see. You know, it has to get over the 6 line on QLGN. NUAI, let's check this out. See where the algo picks this up at. All right, they had it at 911. 911 is right here on this candle. It's weird. Sometimes the algos will pick it up low candles. It's kind of odd. Didn't pick it up here. But anyway, 50 cents. Eventually, look what happens. Gives a 138. You can't deny the algo in this. Then you go higher. Weekly chart, 12. You go all the way down to 24 cents. And look at this go up. That's a very good sign for longs here. Monthly chart doesn't show much. 4 hour. Yeah, you got 150 next move, 250 on this. And still room to run here. So we'll see if this can keep going. NUAI. All right, ALXO, let's check this out. Spinning, come on. Spinning. All right, it has a buy here, 918. Let's put it in here. All right, 918. So 50 cents. This will be going July. $1 roll, 180. This is a big loop. This had a big gap down from 8 all the way down. It's coming back up now. Weekly chart went down, now crossing over. Could this get to 3 here on this weekly? Then you have about 397 monthly chart. Bring this down a little bit. So you can see this was near 120. Wow. Went all the way down, faded. Now it's trying to come up again. 4 hour chart. You can see this. All right. So, basically you have this 120, then faded all the way down. And you have a line here, 18 and 180. This has a lot of room to run. Now you got to look at all these. I don't know what they do exactly. This is just a chart I'm looking at. Just looking at the chart. The daily chart has run all the way from 40 cents, like a double bottom, 180. And let's see if this has more room to run, maybe. MP, this was at 20, goes all the way to 78, pulls back, nice little flag pattern. I circled it here. Already done from the algos. 911. That's a big candle. This looks like a sell. Weekly chart, you're coming back up. Monthly chart, this is way overbought now. 4 hour, it's trying to come back up. So gotta be careful with this. There's a big shooting star. So really got to get over this 82.61. And the market's kind of weird right now. It's kind of shaky. So be careful with NP. All right, IONX. I think we did this one coming back down. And we'll see how far this goes. There's nothing here. This could easily fall to 90, maybe even this trend line, which would be about 80. But it's not there yet. This could turn up. Like, who knows what it's going to do here. It's just starting to fade. All right, here's Hood. Hood's been on a run since April. The low was 29. Goes to 130. It's starting to drop here. If you get a bigger drop, trend line 105. Weekly chart. Yeah, you had a high. This might do a loop and come back down. That means it's divergence happening. Monthly chart. It's still way up here. Not showing that much. 4 hours fading here. You're below 50, 46.50. This could go all the way down. Daily chart. Let's take a look. So 105, and then this goes to 120 maybe first, 115. And you're looking at, $5 increments right here. And then 105 I'd love to see that target and then go back up again. We'll see if that happens on Hood. USBC, this is a big move down. Look at this wedge, giant wedge, high to low. Let me put in my algo, see what it says. So dry, major allergies. All right, the algo picked it up at 918. 918, where's 918? That's right here. A lot of things aren't that complicated. Algo system's good because you're looking at it and see if you agree what it says. You know, coming down from a major move. Where are you buying at? Well, in here, but I mean, once this gets to this wedge, it's going to come out. It's either going to go straight up or make a loop down. You know, picked it up right here, and you're at 131. It's already a good move, but it's already overbought, though. I don't like that. Weekly chart just crossed over. That is very good, though. That's very good for longer term. 4 hour, you know, but this could get a pullback. Yeah, how would play this? I love the weekly. This comes back to one. You want one to hold. You don't want it to loop down too much. I mean, it could. So we'll see how this plays out. I think this is going much higher though. So keep this on your radar, your charts, USBC. Even with a pullback, that weekly is very oversold. Yeah, this is where you want to buy if you're swinging. Look at this. It's here. When you're low, you can only go higher from low. It can stay there, but that's a good sign that it came out right now. All right, here's MFH. All right, let's take a look here. Well, the algo had to buy at 812. That's way back here. It's 812 here. 812 is right here. There's 812. Wow, look at that. 4 goes to 7 pullback. Now this could have went further. Every scenario in the market's either or. Like this goes up. Okay, what's it doing? This goes phase all the way down. Nope. Green candle, hold. Green again. Look at that. Then you have the break of 7. You know, these candles didn't really show much, and now you're at 1478. Absolutely incredible. But this is how you want your swing to go. That's why the algo picked it up here. You have this little move down too. And you know, sort of in the middle here. I like to buy lower, but that doesn't matter sometimes. It really depends on each chart is different. So you held this low line, you're going all the way up the weekly chart, and you're at 94. This is absolutely on fire. Monthly chart, you know, going back here, I had this at 13. There's nothing really behind it now. It's way up here. You know, the previous charts. Look at the quarterly. Yeah, this has been around since 2015. It's been fading. It's had 2 splits. And that's a big candle here. Maybe this can get to 20. It's really nothing here. Just this went down. It says a waterfall from 2015 to 18. And you're just really playing this step by step now, see what it does. Now, this could fade all the way back to this trend line. If this holds in this trend line, that's good. And then it bounced from there, maybe. So we'll see. It's very overbought, staying overbought right now. All right, NB, let's check this out. Now I'm looking over to my left, this algo system, 911. I pay for this algo. It's pretty good. All right, 911's right here. All right, so what do you have here in this chart? You know, draw your line right here. So you had to move down in July. You bounce, move down again. You had the break. What is that? Ascending triangle, the break over 5. And then 550. You're at 750 right now. Weekly chart. It's another one. Very overbought. This is a Fibonacci retracement. All the way down. Look at this loop, a U. You're coming all the way back up. Probably going to test the highs of 8 now. Monthly chart. Look at this. Pretty much all red. Here's the bottom. You go right back up. This is room to run on the monthly. 77's overbought, but it can run even higher. And the quarterly is one giant candle right now. So this is another one. It could pull back to this line. That's what you want. And then it would bounce back up. That's a way to look at it too. So there it is. It is pulled out. Some of these stocks have been running, and we'll see what happens with these, in a few weeks, even a month, see what happens. All right, that's it. Please subscribe to Mike Kim Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. Any comments on any of these stocks? Check me out on all other social media. That's it for now. Peace.